What's up everyone? The veto winner has been revealed and some of the house guests are starting to not get along. Plus, is there a blindside in the works? We've got so much to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. Okay guys, so first things first, let's talk about who actually competed in the veto competition. Now I will say as well, if there is an issue on my mic, guys, we can hear like a sort of high pitched background noise, my apologies. I think there's something wrong with the mic at the moment. I am working on trying to fix it, so some of the sections of this video might have that in it. But let's talk about who actually competed in the veto competition. So obviously we had the head of household Xavier plus the two nominees, Brent and Brittney, and playing alongside them were Derek F, Christian and Whitney. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the veto competition, that was not Derek X this week, is Christian. A huge congratulations to Christian on winning the power of veto. Now he does not plan on using it. Pretty much virtually the whole house is in on the blind side of Brent or trying to get Brent out, so it would make no sense for Christian to actually do that, to use the power of veto. He would get a lot of heat from the rest of the house guests and put the biggest target ever on his back if he went against basically what everybody's planning on doing, when he had literally put his hand in on this plan as well. So I don't even know why I'm entertaining this idea right now. It makes no logical sense whatsoever for Christian to take Brent off the block, or even Brittney for that matter. He needs to basically just not use the power of veto, which is what he plans on doing, and leaving the nominees the same for the week. And to be honest, Brent doesn't even realise he's the target yet. I think he is going to get kind of blindsided. It sounded like the veto competition was the ball arena, something along that sort of line, but obviously in Big Brother competitions, often you have to put people into a position where they may lose out on the competition. So where you go, okay, I pick these two people to go next. It sounded like Brent got a lot of flack in that competition, and he still hasn't caught on yet. So I don't want to hate on Brent, but it's kind of like he is living in his own world and he still doesn't realise that he is the target this week. So it's going to come as a bit of a shock to him when he's evicted on Thursday night. Brittney has expressed her feelings about how she is not happy to be on the block as the pawn. She feels that nobody cares about her feelings, and she's basically kind of just a bit down and out about it, and she's trying to find that spirit. Obviously, it's hard for us to level with that because as viewers, we've never been on the block. I know it's easy for people to sort of go, oh, she's been ridiculous and she's whining, she's not even going home this week. But like, it's hard to say when you don't even know the mental toll that it can take on you. Obviously, on face value, it's coming across as, I know a lot of people are saying it's coming across as a bit whiny, but I would like to give Brittney the benefit of the doubt, and I think it must be very, very tough in there. But again, you just don't know. It's the Big Brother house. But I think Brittney's probably going to continue on that spiral. There is that one person every single season who kind of just gets put on the block one week, then the second week, then the third week. And it's just like, they are the pawn until basically they usually get taken out with the double eviction, maybe first or second in the jury. That sort of person, Brittney could be that. But anyway, she's trying to combat this. So with her 2 weeks on the block so far, she's basically tried to pitch a 21-day contingency plan of 3 weeks where she throws all the head of household competitions for the next 3 weeks in exchange for whoever does win head of household doesn't put her on the block. Now, that would, on face value, it sounds alright, but let's be honest, you can't bargain for 3 weeks of safety in the Big Brother house when you are on the block. You're not in the right position to do that. It's asking too much, and to be honest, even as somebody who's not on the block, that would be asking too much. Yes, you can play mentally a few weeks ahead, but you can't like play as in like strategize of who you're going to take out and whatever. But you can't plan your safety for 3 weeks. It's a bit much, in my opinion. A bit later in the evening, we saw Brittney getting very, very stressed out when she was sort of talking to Azah about being on the block. Sarah Beth actually managed to calm her down after a while. I'm going to talk about Sarah Beth for a moment and just honour her social game. I think she's playing incredibly. I think she seems like such a really lovely person as well. We've seen on the episode sort of her have heart-to-hearts with several people on different topics, and I just think it's wonderful to see somebody who's such a great character. And I don't say character in a way of like, oh, we're watching a TV show, we're talking about that sort of... She just, as a person, her character is fantastic. She just seems really down-to-earth and kind, and also she's not afraid to play the game, which is what I love. Because often people can be kind in the game and get swept aside by that, but she's nice, a nice person, you can tell, and she's playing the game as well. So I've got a lot of respect for that. And she's sat there in a King's Alliance who are intact now and will be by the end of the week. There's going to be all four of them, you know, obviously still there. And she is, you know, people probably like within the King's Alliance, Alyssa and Christian probably think they are running things, but Sarah Beth is probably in a better position than all of them, probably even better than Xavier. She has got so many people on her side. Nobody's going, let's get Sarah Beth out. Sarah Beth is going, let's get these people out. I think there's a secret sort of or a low-lying confidence with the Kings of Alyssa and Christian, thinking, yeah, we'll get to Final Four. This will be fine. Listen, right, Alyssa and Christian, right, they are not a showmans. They are literally joint at the hip 24/7. People are starting to realise that. Xavier walked in on them the other day. They were once again in the HOH room whilst Xavier was in the bathroom. They were making out under the covers. Like, you can't make this shit up. This is the Big Brother house. Like, you need to be careful. Make a showmans. Go for it for all I care. But listen, right, try and keep it under wraps because you're going to put a target on your back. I think although Tyler and Angela were in the open kind of about their showmans, they managed to kind of keep it low-key in BB20, or as low-key as possible, let's say. They managed to pull it off, let's just say that. Alyssa and Christian, it doesn't help at the fact that they're denying they're a showmans yet, being like that 24/7. So yeah, that's going to come bite them soon. But anyway, Christian was talking to Xavier about having the power of veto and sort of saying, you know, look, when it comes to my speech on Monday and I have to talk about it, just say, look, the HOH or my teammate has a plan and I'm going to honour what the HOH wants. Therefore, I will not be using the power of veto. So we'll see if that carries through. I'm sure it will. I'm very excited to see what comes on the feed today. I think we've got an exciting day, but that's what happened there in regards to veto. But we have got more updates, guys, so just wait there. So Brent is starting to realise that Christian is not going to use the power of veto, yet he does believe and he's confident that he has the votes to stay over Brittney. It's going to come as a shock to him on Thursday night, especially if they don't tell him before the live show. The plan is the Aces kind of got together. The Aces kind of got together and said, "Look, we're going to tell him, you know, just before the show, 15 minutes before the show starts. If they don't, then we're in for a blindside. But I still think Brent is not going to be happy, even if he does find out 15 minutes before the show, because the fact he's in the dark so much is going to come a shock to him when he's going to sit in the dark for 4 or 5 more days until the live eviction. That will come as a shock, no matter what." Towards the end of the evening, Tiffany and Claire were discussing Derek X, saying that he's starting to drift towards Hannah more than them, so they're sort of just keeping an eye on that. And I will say, yes, that's true, and fair enough for him doing that. But Hannah is somebody who needs to watch out. I think she's brilliant, really like Hannah, I think she's awesome, but she is very closed off when it comes to the game. I've seen a lot of support for her online, and rightfully so. She seems really, really cool, but she is going to get a target on her back very fast if she doesn't start to open up to people. And I'm not saying she has to, but it's like she kind of needs to. So maybe I am saying she has to. Listen, right, when you are very closed off game-wise, people don't know what to think. And then when it comes to the point of you've got rid of the abrasive people, you've got rid of the people who are very upfront about things, it's better to get rid of someone who you don't know what they are doing rather than someone you actually are clued in on and know what they are up to. So Hannah would be a perfect target, probably maybe after 1 or 2 more evictions. I don't want her to be that target, but if she doesn't start to talk soon, I've seen people say like, oh, I don't know where Hannah stands. When she has got loyalty to them because she said it to like Derek X, or she's, you know, talked to the camera, or we've seen it in the DR on an episode. But they don't know that because she's not vocalising it to them enough, and she needs to try and do that, or otherwise she's going to find herself toast, potentially before the jury stage even starts. Xavier and Whitney were cuddling and flirting in the hammock for a bit, so that could potentially be the start of something there. But moving on from that, we saw Xavier and Tiffany talking, and obviously things were a bit touchy yesterday after the wildcard comp, and Tiffany, you know, ganging up on Brittney with Derek X. Things kind of went a bit with them. So Tiffany and Azah did have a bit of an awkward conversation, you know, the day before yesterday, as I discussed on yesterday's video. But they kind of don't seem to be meshing as well. That's just saying now. So Tiffany was expressing this to Xavier, saying, look, she's playing kind of very personal, and it's not something she can necessarily deal with. And you know, Xavier was saying, yeah, she's very sort of she's very empathetic and definitely a personal player. So Tiffany was politely saying to Xavier that she's kind of done with Azah, or said it in the politest way possible, but I would expect maybe some tensions to rise between them over the next week or so, especially if they don't hash things out. And by the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like they will. Tiffany is somebody, she's quite headstrong, I think. She knows what she wants, and rightfully so. You know, I mean, I like Azah a lot, but she has been very much in her own headspace. And listen, I respected the fact she stood up to Xavier before he made the nomination, saying you need to put Brett and Whitney on the block, because I did agree with that. But she did it in a way where it was kind of just like her way or the highway, which wasn't great, and it disappointed me, like, because I think she's brilliant. I really like Azah, but it was the way she was kind of just saying, put me on the block, it was like, it's like a tactic of a child throwing his toy out the pram. Or the stroller, as you guys say in America. So I just think, yeah, it's difficult to say. There's two sides to every story. I think Azah's got potential for redemption, but Tiffany is obviously very adept at the social game, and she's known and are thinking very, very fast. What have I got to do? Who have I got to remove from my circle? Who have I got to bring in? Who have I got to distance myself from? So I think she is not necessarily cutting Azah, but she's definitely distancing herself, which I think is the wisest move right now. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope you're all having a great weekend out there. I hope everyone's having a lot of fun and just chilling and just having a good time, really. Whether or not you're chilling or not, just having a good time. That's all I care about, guys. But again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you happy with the veto winner? Would you like the veto to be used? Who would you like to see leave the house on Thursday night? There's so much to talk about, guys. But again, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. Make sure that you are being kind to one another. But in the meantime, guys, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.